Hey guys, Mike here. Going to do 3 Facebook campaigns today that I would run if I was promoting an event, how to make this the most economically efficient campaigns that you can run. So let's get straight in and talk about why we're here and what the problems are. So it all starts with the economics of event advertising. So event margins have been getting compressed over time. There's a lot of people out there running events. There's a lot of things to compete with in terms of what people have to purchase. And so prices haven't increased with inflation, costs have, and so margins are getting compressed. And if we're going to promote an event via advertising, we've got to be very careful about where we're spending our money and how we do it so that it's profitable for the business. So let's dig in. I want to go through a couple examples of what the economics of promoting an event look like. So let's say, for example, we spend $1,000 on ad spend. We get 2,000 clicks, so 50 cents a click. And out of those clicks, 75% of those show up on our website, and then we convert 3% to registration. That would look something like this. Let's say our event is $60 to attend. We spend $1,000. We get $2,700 in revenue. So that's positive. That would be an amazing campaign, but you still have all these other costs. So you have $1,700 in margin after your advertising. Then let's say it's a running event. You have t-shirts, you have course closures, you have all these things going on. You got to cover all your stuff with just that $1,700, which is a much lower price point per person. So if you were doing this, trying to fill your whole event with this strategy would be a challenge. It would really cut into your margins. And a lot of times I'll see something like this too. So I spend $1,000, it's like $1 per click, and we get 75% of those to show up on the site and then 3% conversion. This becomes very narrow margin, right? So we got more in revenue back than we spent, which is good, but there's no way we're covering our costs with $380 for 20 people. So this is actually going to be an unprofitable campaign, even though it was positive return on our ad spend. And so what we want to be is somewhere in this range where we spend $1,000, we get 1,600 people or so on our site. We get like a 6% conversion, which would be actually pretty high. I've seen it happen. So this goes to, if all of your stuff is really good, so the event looks like an amazing experience, it's unique, you have great value that you're presenting, you could get 6% conversion. And then let's say you have a $150 price point. Now your revenue is, you're getting like a 14x return on ad spend, and your total spend is 7% of your revenue. So this is somewhere, like you want to be somewhere in this range. If you're going to try to advertise to fill your event, it can happen, but everything has to be dialed. And so today I'm going to walk through 3 campaigns that I use to promote events that help increase efficiency so that you get more revenue per dollar spent. I'm going to take you through that, okay? So the first thing is, and this kind of illustrates the problem that we're dealing with, is if we spend $1,000 in ads and we get 1,000 clicks and 750 people show up on our site, but only 23 register, there's this gap between how many people showed up on our site and how many people registered. So this is like over 700 people that we just now know nothing about. So they didn't register, they're gone. What do we do? How do we understand? Like these people were somewhat interested in our event, and now they're just gone. So there's a ton of loss here. And this is really what makes advertising and promoting an event this way expensive. So we got to fix this. And if we can fix this, then we can be more effective with our spend and be more profitable with our event. So the solution is this, and I'll take you through, how I think about this in terms of driving more effective growth via your campaigns. And always, the cornerstone of any advertising campaign is having a conversion optimized sales campaign. So I would still run this. This gets us this here, but this isn't the only thing we're going to do. Okay, we're going to set up our conversion optimized campaign. So this means that Facebook is setting a goal for people that register. And when they register, they're sending that information back with revenue associated to it so that all these audiences can understand exactly who the person is that's buying and get your ads in front of more of those people. So you could run traffic ads, you can run different kinds of ads. You want to be running ads that are tracking sales and going back and telling Facebook algorithm that sale happened and you need to be in front of those people. So this is the cornerstone of any event promotion, especially if you're running traffic to the site. If you just have a free event and you're running registrations for free, you still want to have this optimized for registration so you can get the most out of it. So this is the cornerstone of the thing, right? But we still have this problem of all this loss happening. So how do we address that? We address it by doing some things that that help us out. So hold on, actually, I skipped one. So the list growth campaign is my second campaign that I want to get into. And this is a leads campaign. So instead of running for conversion for a purchase of your event ticket or a registration, we're going to run a leads campaign and we're going to try to collect email addresses from Facebook. So part of the problem with this when we run a sales conversion optimized campaign is since iOS 14, as soon as you send people over to your website, it becomes very hard to track them via your Facebook pixel. It used to be before, iOS 14, before the pandemic, all this, tracking this information was much better. So it's gotten harder and harder to track. And so that creates a problem with the information that gets back to Facebook. They only understand a portion of who's actually buying. When we run a leads campaign, you use the Facebook lead tool, and anybody that opts in to your offer, Facebook knows exactly who they are and they know exactly who everybody is. And so they use that information to get your ads in front of more of the right people. So if we run a Facebook leads campaign and we use the lead tool to collect an email address, a name, a phone number, whatever it is that you need to collect, and we can get email collections down to say $2 per email, this becomes a huge advantage for us because now we can communicate with that group of leads into the future and we can market to them. So we'll look at that economics of that in just a second. But the way this would work is you would have an offer. So let's say you're doing a 5K, right? And you give away 2 entries to your 5K. And you say, we're going to give those to anybody who opts into our campaign here. So people see the offer and you say, hey, win two free entries. That's like people putting up their hand and say, yeah, I would go to that event if I won. So they're probably good candidates to say I would go to that event. If I don't win, I would pay for it, right? So we run a giveaway campaign. We give away something of value and we collect email addresses and we try to get emails down below $2 per. Then the economics start looking like this. Say we spend $1,000 on ad spend. We collect 500 leads. And after somebody opts into the lead, you can say, hey, check out more information about our event. Let's say 20% of those people show up on your website and 3% convert. Just by running this leads campaign, we're building awareness about our event. We're sending people to our website and we're getting registrations. And if this was the pricing, we're going to get $360 of revenue out the gate just by trying to promote our giveaway, right? And I've seen stuff like this. The economics are going to be different for every event, but I've seen it work where this happens, right? And then beyond just this, we also collected 500 emails where we're going to go back, we'll do our giveaway, but then we're going to send a series of emails promoting our event, why it's so amazing. And out of the emails that we send, we're going to collect some amount of registrations, depending on how good your event is, how good your marketing is. This could be more or less than this. But let's say here we collected between these registrations and what we promoted here, over $2,000 in ad spend, plus we got 500 people onto our email list that we can use to promote our events into the future. So this really is the key for promoting. If you're an event company, building your list is the key because now promoting to all these people into the future becomes free. And anybody who registers for free events, that's an advantage of having that margin associated with your business. So huge thing. I think not enough businesses are doing this, but understanding like how much it costs to get an email and also making money in that process and then having that as a business asset into the future. This is a must for lowering your cost of marketing as an event company. Okay. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is as we're running ads, as we're building awareness for your event, we're building demand. So people are seeing your ad, they're seeing your event, they're saying, wow, that's actually kind of interesting. Should I register for it? And then you have this, say you advertise for a month, you have this group of people who are like kind of interested in your event, but they don't know. You're not always top of mind with them. And so we want to go back. We want to stay top of mind and we want to take that demand that we've created. We want to move people through. We want to get them to make a decision to purchase and sign up for your event, buy the ticket or whatever, right? So we're going to run a conversion optimized retargeting campaign specifically built to move the demand by creating urgency or scarcity with your offer. So with an event, this is a lot of times the problem is if you're not, going to sell out. If you're going to sell out, that's, built-in scarcity and people can act because they're like, I need to go to this. If you don't have that, which is a lot of events, you have to create some kind of urgency or scarcity to get people to move because they can just say, I'll think about it. I might do it tomorrow. I have 3 weeks left. Maybe I'll do it on the last week, but then things come up and people don't take action. So you want them to buy when they're most interested. We got to get them to move. So we run a conversion optimized campaign. So this is what we did before. We only retarget people that have engaged with your Facebook page, with your Instagram profile, or your website. So we set up retargeting to those 3, and then we run ads that are specifically designed with urgency built in. And this could look like this. Price increase happens this Saturday. Okay, so you got to buy now before the price goes up. And I'm just making these up. You guys can come up with your own. You get it, right? There's either urgency as like a time associated piece of urgency or scarcity is like a limited amount. The best sections are selling out. Make sure you get in before they sell out. 4th of July flash sale. So this is like a limited time sale that's happening. Last chance for early bird pricing. Again, this is like a price increase, getting people to move before the price goes up. Maybe first 500 people get a bonus and there's only 40 left. So you got to move them, right? Or maybe 50 spots available at this price and the sale and Saturday. So now you have both scarcity and urgency in your deal. Come up with whatever makes sense for you and put together an offer for it. run a conversion optimized campaign, retarget just the people who have been on your page, on your Instagram profile, on your website, run those ads to it. And all that demand that you've been building up, you get people to move and you get that big week of sales. So this is kind of how it looks as we're running these other campaigns. We're building demand, and then we got to come through and we got to retarget, clear that demand, and get it going. So getting kind of long here, so I'm going to just review everything I talked about. So what are the 3 campaigns that we talked about today? Number 1, the cornerstone of any promotion is your conversion optimized campaign. We've got this problem though, if we're just doing that, we have a lot of loss. People are interacting with our website, they're interacting with our profiles in ways, but if we're not using that information, it's just going to the ether, we're paying for it, and then we're doing nothing with it. So this is why promoting events via ads becomes inefficient. So we want to also run ads that capture emails. And if we can do that, we're building awareness and generating revenue and building a business asset. And then we want to take the demand that we're building, we want to put some urgency and scarcity around it, retarget all the people that are thinking about us, get them to move. And then we go back to the beginning, we create more awareness, we create more demand, and then we move them through. So this cycle happens. You just got to think hard about what is your event, what is your offer, how do you do everything better, and how do you do it more effectively so your business is profitable. At the end of the day, we all want to take home more money. We want to have great events, great experiences for people, but we don't have to be inefficient about it. So let me know if you have any questions, you want to talk through this, you want me to run this for you, whatever it is, let's talk. I'll put my links below in the video description. And if you want to do this on your own, I'm going to probably work on a training that goes through setting up each one of these specifically because I don't know. But I think having the framework of how to do it, you guys can figure it out. At some point, I'll put together a training that is like step-by-step how to do each one of these because I think it's important. But for now, let me know in the comments if you thought it was interesting, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.